Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Wednesday nights, we are still enjoying the franchise for Nightmare on Elm Street. And man, just looking at some of those moments throughout the franchise just brings a smile to my face. What's up, Kill and Coriander with me, as always. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good. All right. Coriander, you're muted. That's
I'm
all right.
good.
All
Yeah.
right. So, guys, we've gone through all of the movies, and tonight we are going to rank them. This is always a fun exercise. We've been down this road before, and let's see if anything is going to be different. Val's in the chat. What's up, Val? The general herself. Thank you for reminding people. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Brandon's in the chat. What's up? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Hey.
And we knew Eric would jump in. We knew he's waiting. He's waiting to see what we say. What's up, bro? Saying I can't stay, but I'll say my personal bottom two: Freddy's Dead and Last, and Dream Master above it. Top two: Original and Dream Warriors, and they can swap daily. All right, man.
All right.
Philip's in the chat. What's up, Philip? Good to see you too. All right. And why not Ben in the chat? One of our Patreon members. What's going on? Nice to see you, man. Nathan, what's going on? Good to see you too. And
Hello.
Chuck. All right.
Hey.
You guys are all right. Eric says, but if Freddy versus Jason is allowed to be ranked, I'd place that at the bottom under Freddy's Dead. Wow. What? Wow, that's crazy. Hey, look, Strange Monkey's in the chat. He knows what's up. Saying,
Hello, nice.
What's up, bro? What's up? Karen's in the chat. What's up from Ocean Chicks?
Hello.
Films. Good to see you. Saying, hey, Night, Coriander, Killian, and all. Good to see you. Giles in the chat. Hey, welcome to the chat. Welcome. Good to see you. And I think that's about it. Mayanne jumped in too. What's up, Mayanne? Good to see you. All right.
Hey.
Now we're ready to rock. Okay, guys, let's just get down to brass tacks. You know how we do this thing. As we always do, it's round robin style. Kill will give his pick first, and then Coriander, and then me. And let me just put this out there so I could just say it right off the bat. We will not have Freddy versus Jason in our ranking. So we have excluded Freddy versus Jason. If you'd like to know our thoughts on Freddy vs. Jason, we did not only review it under our Friday 13th franchise, but also we did rank it within the Friday 13th movies. All right, so Kill. We are going to start with the 8th spot. Okay. What do we got for your number 8 in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise?
So to piggyback on something someone in the chat said, actually, I think it was Eric, as far as his bottom choices and his top choices. My top choices, they're never going to change. My bottom ones will. And I believe this one that I have in my 8th spot, when we did this before, it was not my lowest before. But this one could easily change from 8 to 7. But this time, going through watching these again, my number 8 is the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh, there it is.
Hashtag feline justice.
Hey, look.
Oh, no.
There he is. Hey, look.
We love Jackie Earl.
Dude, I love Jackie. We love Jackie, and so does Clancy Brown. So let me just say, no, I'm joking. Eric's probably watching this throwing socks at the screen.
I'm sorry, Eric. It's all love, brother. But you know what's interesting about this movie?
Tell me.
And one of the reasons why I do put it so low is because of missed opportunities. You're doing a remake, and I, once again, guys, if you want to hear our full review on this, please check out our video we did on that. It was awesome. But just to recap, my issues were I really didn't like the makeup. This version of Freddy looked a little too feline for me, even though they were trying to go for a more realistic look. I get it. But it just wasn't hitting it for me. And Jackie Earl, love him. He's awesome. But this Freddy interpretation, some of the realism and real world ugliness that they put into this movie kind of made me a little, So yeah, and once again, missed opportunities to do a really, really great remake.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's my
There you
number 8.
go. That's your number 8, the remake. Okay, Coriander, here we go. And we're gonna see where this thing goes out. But what's your number 8?
I have The Final Nightmare.
Freddy's Dead. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the last few times we've reviewed this movie, I couldn't even watch it to review it with you guys because I just dislike it that much. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Wait, can I chime in with something, guys? Once again, I think I've said this before. Knight picks out either the best images of something that he likes or absolutely the most.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
No
the
thanks.
absolutely most embarrassing images.
I love
Keep up
Robert
the good
though.
work, Knight.
Thanks,
You're
man.
doing good work, sir.
Hey, man, I put in hours on these things, man. But
Yes,
thank
you
you. I
do.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, let me. I almost don't want to leave this. Let me just jump to the chat real quick.
You know you want to put it up again. Go ahead and do it.
I will, man. All right. So
Oh,
and for you guys in the chat, let us know what you think of our picks. I see some of you guys putting your picks in there. Nathan saying Dead Last is Freddy's Dead. He's not a fan. I understand that. And Val says number 8, the remake for me too.
See,
all right.
Val.
Chuck says the remake. Denisha's in the chat. What's up, Denisha? And Val, thank you for putting the link for all of our episodes for the Nightmare franchise. We literally spent weeks on it and just had a lot of fun each time. It was so much fun. Thanks for putting that there. Hey, look, Eric says it's all love, Kill. No worries. We enjoy what we enjoy, and we know how to have civil conversations here with a little bit of ball busting.
Yes,
that's
sir.
what makes these together is fun. It's so true, man. And and it's a great. Eric's one of the best examples I can have of a really good friend who there's some movies that we absolutely love together. And then there's some movies where, I'll say, well, Phantasm is one of the greatest things of all time. And he might look at me a little like, And then he'll talk about Jason Goes to Hell. And I'll go, but we can still, have a fun time and sometimes even have interesting conversations. So much love, bro. Much love. Scott's in the chat too. What's up, Scott? Okay, so let me just let me not delay the inevitable. Now this has changed over time. We've done this ranking before, but I cannot lie. My number 8 is Freddy's Dead. I just can't listen. Kill. Listen to me.
No.
When you become the Looney Tunes of the franchise on purpose, they on purpose wanted to have this dark, quirky humor, very similar to things that were popular at the time. You know what I mean? And it's just they just went too far. And they even said it. Robert Englund himself said it. They just went too far with it. I love some things in this movie. I think Lisa Zane was great. Yaphet Kotto, rest in peace. He's always great. But they couldn't save this. They couldn't save this. That being said, there's still some good stuff in it. There was some good nightmare sequences. Most notably, your boy with the hearing aid. That was a really good nightmare sequence. So, anyways, my number 8 is Freddy's Dead. Okay, well, we'll get to it at some point, I'm sure. Let's go. Let's go to number 7, Kill. What are you going with your number 7?
Okay, I'm just waiting for the screenshots here. My number 7, I'm joining the club. Freddy's Dead.
There he is. There he.
Yeah, slapping that guitar.
Hey, look, and can I just say something in that scene? And I love Robert. He takes the chalkboard and he's like, ooh, ooh. I'm thinking, what the hell is going on with Freddy Krueger? But I love it. I love it. Go ahead, man.
And I won't take too long on this because I agree with everything both of you guys said about this film. But for me, I'm kind of on the edge of I loved Lisa Zane and Yaphet Kotto And I think that's why I moved this up one spot, because as far as final girls or final women protagonists go, I think she did a great job.
Yeah.
And Yaphet Kotto, rest in peace, he's always amazing. So for me, the strength of these two, kind of elevated it just a little bit, just barely enough to get it one step above my lowest ranking. So
yeah. No doubt. I mean, there were moments, but they were trying to do some things that just to me didn't speak well for the franchise. So it is what it is. Coriander, let's go to your number 7. I've got the list here. So what do we have for your 7th spot?
So I have the remake.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, he looked like a hairless cat,
He
You
did.
pretty much said it. And I don't know, it was just that, but he looked so cute, you want to pet him.
Do you though? Do you?
Well,
I know.
But anyway, I don't really have much to say about this one either. So
yeah. All right. Okay. Now I know Eric's waiting. He's like, where is it gonna land? All right, I won't delay it. Dude, I'm going with the remake at 7 as well. And listen, but I will say this, and for you guys, if you've been around, and if not, definitely check them out. When we talked about the remake, specifically on that episode, there were some good things in this movie. There were some good things in this movie. And unfortunately, there were things that didn't work well. You know what I mean? The pharmacy scene is a great nightmare sequence. Yes. I absolutely loved it. Yes. But then you have other scenes like when Chris was killed, it just paled in comparison to Tina's death from the original. Now, I'm not saying that's why I knocked this one down in my ranking, but I think that what they should have done is either, I don't know, man, they should have just gone a little bit of a different route. They made Freddy totally despicable, like beyond, like, you know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, and of course with Rooney Mara, her portrayal of Nancy, I just think it wasn't to the level it should have been for a final girl. Like by the time you get on board with her, like an hour and 10 minutes have already passed by, and it's almost like at that point, why do I want to get on board with her? And we talked about this in the remake episode. So there were just some missteps that they had. Jackie Earle Haley was amazing. We've all said that, but just missteps. So anyways, my number 7 is the remake. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we knew we knew what was going to be at the bottom. All right, so now let's get down to brass tacks real quick, Kill, before I get to your number 6. Strange Monkey, Kung Fu this bitch. I love it. And Brandon saying, I have that reaction when someone says JC's Halloween is the greatest horror film of all time. Ooh, okay. All right. I hear you on that. And Denisha putting in the link for the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's see. And thank you, man. Yeah. Our good friend Gorfield was talking about Phantasm, and I had a little bit to say on that too. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Brandon has number 7 is The Dream Child, and the General has Freddy's Dead at number 7. Ooh, Chuck nice. As well. Freddy's Dead is at number 7. All right, you guys are doing all right. Nathan with The Dream Child at number 7. Okay. Wow. Cool. Brandon saying Freddy was always a villain. He was entertaining, but he was still a villain. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yes. American Turkey Burger in the chat saying, I wish we could get 2 new Nightmare films that are really good. That would be nice. It would be nice. Okay. All right, Kill. This is where it gets interesting for me, and especially to see what you guys were going to say. So what do we have for your number 6?
Okay, so for my number 6, I went with Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
There it is.
The Dream Child. Look, and once again, I won't take too long on this. All of the two movies that preceded after Dream Warriors, they kept trying to be Dream Warriors. Okay. And you have the character of Alice they bring in, you kill off, kind of, legacy characters very unceremoniously, very quickly. And you kind of give us, well, this new protagonist that we're going to be following for the next, two movies that has the power to bring people in her dreams, and she can absorb the abilities of her friends and so forth, and that's all really great. And Lisa Cox did a great job, but these movies just felt like they truly were just trying to cash in on all of the hype that Dream Warriors had, and and it just, for me, it didn't really stick the landing. The biggest offense for me was killing off legacy characters very quickly. And just kind of like, well, damn, now we're following this new person who was in the high school the same time. We're supposed to, okay, you were in the same class as these guys and we're their buddy that just, weren't involved in any of the stuff when they were in the institution. You were just kind of living your best life. Okay. So yes, the Dream Child is my number 6.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
So I also have the Dream Child.
Yeah,
there it is. There it is.
Yeah. Like, again, this is one that I really don't watch like too often. I did think this death was pretty good. What the hell's his name?
The best.
Billy?
Dan.
There we go. Dan. Yeah. And I didn't get the whole, wasn't Freddy trying to like be reborn through her kid or something? No, it's like, why? He's better when he's a dream master and scary and not trying to be born and suckle a mom's teeth. I don't know. It's a little ridiculous.
All right. Okay. So for me, for my number 6, I went with Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child as well. So we all went with the same one.
Nice.
Oh man. I think that with this one, there were some good things in it, but there were also some things that just didn't stack up to the ones that are above it. You know what I mean? There was the one sequence, like you were saying, Coriander, with Dan, the Iron Man nightmare. I thought that was really, really good. It was very, very well done. The effects, I mean, they actually cut a lot of this. And so it was one of those things where, it really was cool. Greta's death was pretty good as well. I liked Alice as a character. I thought her arc between the two movies was pretty good. But again, this is where Freddy really started to, he just started to go down that path, and it was just not as scary. It started to get much more comedic style. So that's my number 6. Okay. All right. So let's go to our number 5. And before we get to you, Kill, let me just jump to the chat here. These guys are working hard, man. All right. Let's see. And we've got Brandon saying, unpopular opinion, my number 6 is New Nightmare. All right. Okay. Aaron's in the chat saying, yo, what's up? Hatchet Boy's in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, it has been a while. Good to have you here. Hope you're enjoying the conversation. Nathan has the Dream Master at number 6. Okay. All right. Aaron, we are not counting Freddy versus Jason, but we did count the remake. So we already put the remake out there. Freddy versus Jason we did with our Friday 13th reviews, and so we kept it on that. Trick or Treat's in the chat. What's up? Number 8 is Freddy's Dead. 7 is The Dream Child. 6, New Nightmare. Okay. Cool. All right, Kill. Let's do this thing. What do we have for your number 5?
So for my number 5, I went with Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah, there we are. Preach.
For this one, there was a lot of good to it. You finally have Freddy talking a little bit, not too much, nothing crazy, but you had a protagonist that, in my opinion, was not the best. At Night, goddamn, I'm waiting for it, Night.
I'm good.
Night,
I'm good, man. Come on, man.
Okay.
I wanted to wait for Coriander, man, but that's okay. You know what happened in this movie.
He can't fight me. I'm here. No!
There it is.
Damn it, Jim.
He can't fight me. I'm him.
I love it. And it's stuff like that. But once again, this movie, I truly have a love and hate for it, because you have young Meryl Streep look-alike here, and she was okay. But this movie had a lot of interesting, good Freddy moments. Like, you were all my children now.
Oh yeah.
You've got the body, I've got the brain. But then also, this movie had so many 80s cliches, dancing in your bedroom, and just some of the dialogue was just kind of cringeworthy. But hey, it was the 80s. Yeah. So Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is my number 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick too, Brandon, you gotta love this. As basically Jason Goes to Hell stole Dream Child's plot. There's truth to that.
Much, yeah.
There is some serious truth. Oh my God. All right, so Coriander, what do we have for your number 5?
So I have Freddy's Revenge.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
I like.
Yeah, Jesse was one of those characters that he just kind of bugged me. I mean, his girl was, she was okay, but she had her moments too. I still enjoyed Freddy in this. It's really just Jesse that it's placed where it is just because of that character,
Yeah.
Maybe if that dance of his was a little longer, maybe it would be in a different spot. No.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just joking.
All right.
But,
all right. So this is where was really interesting. Now, first of all, for I think for you, Coriander, this moved up on your list because you had this lower before. So I'm proud of you. I just want to say that. So my number 5, I think this is the first time this has actually happened, but my number 5 is also Freddy's Revenge. So we have 2 spots where we literally have had the same picks. And for people that haven't, if you've never been around when we've ranked stuff, which, by the way, if you haven't, you got to check out our rankings. We've done so many different rankings. We don't share each other's lists with each other, and that's what makes it fun. But anyways, Freddy's Revenge was my introduction to the franchise. And we talked about this on the Freddy's Revenge episode. And, I do think that there are some things that were missteps, and the director and also other people behind the scenes talked about some of the missteps that they had because they didn't want to follow Wes Craven's roadmap, which I think was a mistake. But they did do some things that I thought was very good. And I think this is where Freddy started to have a lot more personality, but still not over the top. But I thought it was very creepy. You're all my children now. You got the body, I've got the brain. Those are some great moments. And when I saw this as a young kid, that stuff stuck with me. I was really like it, it really got to me. So warts and all, it's still a film that I think is worthy, in this franchise. And if anything, I think it taught them how to kind of stick closer to Wes's roadmap afterwards, even though they kind of went off the rails at some point after that too. But anyways, that's my number 5 is Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. All right, let me just jump to the chat and like I said, Coriander, I'm so happy that you put that at when I saw you put that at number 5, I was like, yeah, all right.
All right,
here we go. Very, very cool.
I aim to please.
There you go. Let's see. In the chat, Trick or Treat saying number 5 is the remake. The remake at number 5. All right. Gina jumped in the chat. Good to see you. Saying, I'm about to go to bed. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Sweet dreams.
Good night.
Yeah. Let's see. Nathan saying the remake at number 5. I really like the remake. Jackie did something Robert could never do because everyone loved OG Freddy, which is making people hate Freddy that were supposed to hate Freddy. He kills kids. Yeah, I think, with Jackie's portrayal, they definitely made Freddy like evil. Like I mean, there's probably no worse thing that you could do than what he was doing in that movie. But at the same time, it was so dark, but the other things didn't line up. Like the nightmare sequences were not interesting, except for the pharmacy one. And even that, compared to a lot of the other nightmare sequences in the franchise, even the pharmacy scene wasn't anything to really remember, so to speak. And the CGI, we've talked about that kind of put it down for me. And also just a portrayal of Nancy. I think they really misstepped on how they directed Rooney Mara to portray Nancy. So, but I will say the remake is not a horrible movie. No. It's not the worst movie of all time. Definitely not the worst remake of all time. So, and thanks, Val, for putting the link in for our Patreon. If you'd like to help support, you can do so through our Patreon, and we have exclusive content, watch parties all the time, and things where we hang out in a more intimate manner. Karen's got Nightmare 2 at 5 for her. All right. There we go. Very cool. Nightmare 2 getting a little love. All right. Val as well, saying Freddy's Revenge, but this one can end up lower on the list on any given day. All right. I like how she said it. Now, Val, you know what I think about that?
He can't fight me. I'm here.
There it is.
Do me and Val almost have the same exact list?
It's
so
pretty
far?
close. I think so.
I
think so. It's pretty damn close. All right, Kill. What do we got for you? What do we got for your number 4, bro?
Okay, so for my number 4, I have Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Okay, Dream Master.
Dream Master. So, once again, this is another of the Alice tales here. And once again, I don't mind Lisa Wilcox that much. But for me, the issue is things are written very convenient. Things are very convenient. She gets powers when she needs them. She's vulnerable when they need her to be vulnerable and kind of weak. And she kicks ass when like the writers, deem it so. The kills in this, once again, for me, all of the movies preceding after Dream Warriors up until the New Nightmare is when Freddy is jumping the broom, literally, jumping the shark, riding broomsticks, being a Looney Tunes character. And unfortunately, this one was a lot of that as well. I did enjoy the final, I guess, fight finale and, and so forth, but it still wasn't anything that we hadn't seen. Like, okay, we need to pull Freddy out into the real world and yada, yada, rinse and repeat. So it just, for me, once again, it didn't have the originality that I felt like Dream Warriors had. It told more of the backstory of Freddy's mom and so forth and things of that nature, but it just kind of was more the same with sillier and sillier Freddy versions. So,
okay, all right, okay, Coriander, what do we have for your number 4?
So you can just put that back up there.
Wow, there we go. All right.
I know. It's like I'm following suit here. Yeah. What can I say? I didn't mind this one. Yet the roach kill was
one
enjoyable.
Of the best. One of the best in the frame, in my opinion.
It was.
Yeah. And between, with all these movies, this is where it has to be on my list. So,
okay. All right. This is where it really got interesting for me. And I actually went back and forth on this. But I'll tell you why, but I'm going to go for number 4. I'm going to go with New Nightmare. And first of all, just to look at Kill, stop it. Let me, I'm going to explain this. Now, I love New Nightmare, and on any given day, it might've switched up, higher. There's a lot of great stuff in it. First of all, the look of Freddy, we've talked about it. It was fantastic. Having Heather return to the franchise was gold. The late great master himself was in the movie, Wes Craven himself, and I think he righted the ship, and it was very difficult to do that after Freddy's dead. Okay, after Freddy's dead, like literally the franchise was kind of dead, and Wes was able to do some really interesting things with this character, most notably changing the mythology. He created a brand new mythology on a franchise that he started. I mean, he's the best. He's the absolute best, and I love this movie. But there's a couple of reasons why I put it in this spot versus higher. So I'll just kind of leave it at that for now. But that's my number 4 is New Nightmare. Okay, let's get ready to move to number 3 kill. Before I do that, let me just check on the chat. Let's see. These guys are working pretty hard. Val says, laugh out loud, Killian. My number 4 is the Dream Master. She's on the same. Oh my God, she's with it. Nathan says his number 4 is the OG. The ending really pissed me off. They ruined a masterpiece film with the Freddy car and the blow up doll mom. The worst ending, in my opinion. That's what put it at number 4. Wow. Wow. So it's a masterpiece, and then that put it at number 4. That's rough. Karen saying at number 4, the Dream Master. Okay. All right. Chris in the chat. What's going on? Saying he grew up loving 4. Hatchet Boy saying I love New Nightmare as well. Night. Yep. American Turkey Burger saying 3 was so good. Val says, wow, Nathan. Right? That's the hot take of the night. That is the hot take of the night. But I love it. It creates conversation. All right, Kill. Now we're getting down to the meat and potatoes of this thing. What is your number 3?
So this part of the list was easy for me. This is
okay.
Easy. And I absolutely love this movie. My number 3 is Wes Craven's. Show some respect for his name. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Look,
there he is.
Look, this is a return to form. This is a return to scary. This is a return to nightmare fuel. This is also the beginning of meta. This is the DNA that became Scream. You have Wes Craven, like Knight said, the master himself is in there. You got Freddy being a demon in this, having a slightly different look. The trench coat. He doesn't wear the hat all the time, and you don't notice it. It's totally fine, and it works. And he is genuinely scary. I mean, Heather's back. I mean, this was just kind of like a reunion of some of my favorite people in horror getting back together. And Robert Englund himself in there, not as Freddy, was really cool to see as well. So this movie was like meta. It was funny. It was scary as hell. And there were true drama and stakes with a mother trying to protect her son from a nightmare demon. Like, really? Like, if you guys have not seen New Nightmare or you haven't watched it lately, check it out. It is a great movie. Yeah,
agreed. Totally agreed. All right, Coriander, what do we have for your number 3?
I'm just going to leave because from here on out, it seems like we're just hitting it on the mark. So
great minds.
Yeah. I love the look. I love, with me, I love when Freddy's scary. I cannot stand the comedic Freddy. So yeah, this was great. And yeah, this is my number 3.
All right. Okay. Wes
if
Craven's
this version of Freddy was in Jason versus Freddy, he deserved to win.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Can you guys in the chat imagine if this demon version of Freddy went against Jason?
Okay, but here's the thing to make the movie.
Jason needs to change.
Okay, that's exactly what I was about to say. Here's the thing that's gotta happen to make the movie good, though, is that you gotta have like Kane's Jason from 7, right? With the spine and the chain across the neck. It's either that or if we want human Jason, always got to talk about my boy Richard Brooker from 3 with that crisp mask. It's nice and clean. He just got it. And man, oh my God. All right. Real real quick in the chat. Let's see. These guys are working hard too. Hatchet Boy is talking about, I can't wait to see the fan film Dylan's New Nightmare. Yeah, and that trailer, it's ironic because that trailer just dropped last night. They're doing the fan film called Dylan's New Nightmare. It's a sequel to Wes Craven's New Nightmare. They brought Miko back. He's an adult now, and Dave McRae is portraying Freddy, and he looks great in the makeup. He looks great in the makeup. It doesn't even look like a fan film. It really does not. So if anyone has not seen Dylan's New Nightmare, the trailer just dropped last night, and it looks fantastic. It really, really does. You know. At number 3, Nathan's got New Nightmare. All right. Chuck has The Dream Master at number 3. Karen has she says, I choose 5. Didn't love the ending, but I liked all the dream sequences. All right. There we go. I like it. Trick or Treat saying number 3 is Dream Warriors. Wow. All right. You gotta let me know what's number 2 and number 1. This is my design in the chat. What's up, man? What's up? Hope you're doing good. James saying Dream Warriors, one of the best horror sequels, combination of horror and humor, and wasn't over the top. Absolutely. MA5 saying Meta New Nightmare followed by Meta Scream. Yes, indeed. And Val, thanks for reminding people. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. It helps to support us. Philip saying my number 3 is Nightmare 1. Ooh, all right. Very, very cool. Aaron saying what's so crazy is that this is the actual demon that Freddy's based off of, and we get to see what that demon would actually look like as Freddy in the new Nightmare world. Yeah. Blucka's in the chat. What's up, Blucka? Aaron has at number 3 Dream Warriors. Wow. All right. Man, this is crazy. For my number 3, but it's interesting. I always love to hear people's takes on things. Okay, so at my number 3, and again, this was where things got a little interesting for me. But at number 3, I have the Dream Master, and let me tell you why. This is where Freddy was he was on the edge of the cliff. Okay, he was looking over into the abyss of comedy, and he didn't jump in yet. He did not jump in yet. He was close. He put on some shades because it was sunny outside, but he did not jump off the cliff yet. And I think that with the Dream Master, there was a lot of interesting things going on. And even though they killed, the Dream Warriors in the first 3 seconds of the movie, which was an abomination, there were some great sequences. Joey's death, Kincaid's death in the junkyard. And you guys know, one of my favorites is the Roach Nightmare. This movie had so many good nightmares, like iconic nightmares. And that's why I'm putting it at number 3, because of the fact that it had so many great nightmares. And again, I think Tuesday Night was okay filling in, the role for Kristen. But, I didn't mind how they brought in Alice. I think she had an interesting arc, and it kind of came to fruition in the next movie. But yeah, I put Dream Master at number 3 for me. So, all right, guys, you knew where this was gonna go. I mean, listen, and this is where it's gotta be. Okay, so Kill, let's just take a deep breath. Let's proceed with caution. We knew that these were the 2 movies that were going to be in our first 2 spots. What do you have for your number 2 movie, the second best Nightmare on Elm Street movie in the franchise?
Okay. So for me, my number 2 is a movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Okay. So look, no disrespect to the OG. Love it. It was nightmare fuel. But
yeah, it was.
Freddy was in the shadows. You really didn't see him, which it works, but then I take points away because of that. I like just like Coriander said, I like my evil, scary Freddy. He was scary in here. He was evil. But I do like a little shit talk, just a little bit. just a little bit. Because I feel you still can be evil and dark. And my number 1 movie shows that. You can still be evil and dark, but you still can it can have a little levity in there to balance it. But this is a classic movie. I mean, you know, the original cast. Shouts out to man,
the Sax,
the Saxton man, Johnny Depp. You know, like everybody. This is an amazing movie, and this was easy. It was going to be in my number 1 or number 2 slot. Easy.
Yes. So. All right. Okay. Yeah, and it is a great cast. I absolutely love this cast. Part of what makes this movie so good. All right, Coriander. Can you save us? Can you save us? What is your number 2?
I don't think so. No.
What is your number 2?
Yeah, for me, this should have been number 2, but it wasn't. But it's called Dream Warriors.
Preach.
Yeah, I really, really liked this one. One of my favorites was when, you know, Freddy used that kid as a puppet with his, with his veins. And yeah, it's just a real good movie. And yeah, you know, you had Heather back in it, you know, in this one too. And, you know, yeah, it should have been part 2.
All right. Okay, because I love it. This is some of the most fun of doing these things. Let me just jump to the chat here. American Turkey Burger says number 1 is 2. Okay. Wow. All right. There we go. We're getting some love. Aaron saying not Roach Nightmare. I still want to vomit in that scene. I know, man. Every time I see it, it still gets me. It still gets me. Let's see. Mayanne saying I gotta watch all these movies. Freddy's is so scary to me. Yeah, man, you gotta check these out. There's no doubt about that. He's one of the best. You know, he really is.
And some of them.
Well, I mean, just as a character, you know. And one thing I was thinking about talking about is just Freddy himself. You know, over all these movies, whether it was the not so great movies. I mean, they were all good, but there were some movies in this franchise that were so good. It was such a high bar to try to reach. You know what I'm saying? But just Freddy as a character and what he means. You know what I mean? But maybe that'll be a conversation for another day. Val's going with Dream Warriors at number 2. She knows what's up.
Nice.
Nathan has Freddy's Revenge at number 2. Aaron has New Nightmare at number 2. Chuck has Dream Warriors at number 2. Philip has Dream Warriors at number 2. James has New Nightmare at number 2. Wow. All right. Guys, wow. Chris has Dream Warriors at number 2. Trick or Treat has the OG at number 2. Wow, you guys are all right. Karen has Dream Warriors at number 2. Really loved it and all the characters. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Val, you're right. Puppet Philip was such a great scene. It was. I mean, it's an iconic scene. When I first saw that, it stuck with me. Okay, guys, let me just say this is one of the hardest number 1 and 2 spots for me in probably any major horror franchise. And we've ranked a lot of franchises, but this is so difficult because I love both of these movies so much and for different reasons. So my number 2, I gotta be real, it's Dream Warriors. Come on, man. Look, and I love Dream Warriors. And when we did this the last time, I had kind of gone back and forth. This time, I'm a little bit more steadfast in this. Dream Warriors is fantastic. And this is where you saw what Freddy could become. And it was very creative and imaginative, and everything was amazing. Great characters. I absolutely love this film. And it's probably, for me, the most rewatchable in the franchise. And that's all I'll say for it right now. But that's my number 2 is Dream Warriors. Okay, Kill, spill the beans on why your number 1 is number 1.
Well, you might as well put it back up. My number 1 is Dream Warriors. And, you know, I'm not going to dwell on this too long because you guys all know these things. And Night, I agree with everything you just said. This one the most. But I also feel it has, hands down, the best cast in all of these movies. And I'm going to tell you why. They have legacy characters like John Saxon and Heather in here, but then they introduce brand new teen characters that aren't annoying, that aren't just stereotypes. They have weight and, you know, a background to them, and, you know, new doctors to hate or shrinks to love and so forth.
True.
And on top of all that, and you get more background about Freddy's mom, son of 100 maniacs, things of that nature. So it's like they just said, "Oh wait, Wes, we got you. We'll carry on the torch. Let's throw some of this in, this. Oh, don't forget this." And it's amazing. And there's stakes there. There's loss. There's a character. No spoilers for a 30-something-year-old movie. There's a legacy character that dies, and I remember I never saw it coming, and I was like, "No!"
Right? I know. I was like, "No!"
My crush is dead now. Not my crush. No.
But that moment was built up because of what happened in the past.
Yes. So once again, this movie had stakes on top of everything. So that's why, and this was a little hard, but I really had to. There's no lying here. I just really had to think about it. And of course, all of the death scenes and death, the nightmares were amazing. So that's why I had to pull the trigger, and this had to be my number one, man.
All right, Coriander, why is your number one number one?
Well, I mean, come on. It gave us Johnny Depp. That's like the most important thing out of this whole movie. No. And of course, Freddy. I mean, come on. This is when we first get to see, well, we're introduced to Freddy. And yeah, Tina's death was like, wow. I had not seen anything like it. And yeah, I just fell in love with Freddy in this movie. But soon after this, let me tell you, that love affair ended. No.
Oh, no, it didn't. It still was at number 5. That's not bad.
No, I know.
You guys.
But anyway.
Real quick, too, in the chat. Trick or Treat's going with Freddy's Revenge at number 1. All right. I love all the different takes out here. I have the most fun with that movie. I love the bromance between Jesse and Grady. Freddy is creepy. The pool scene is great. The pool scene is fantastic.
That is a good scene.
Yeah, Val knows what's up. Number 1 is the OG. Hatchet Boys knows what's up. The OG at number 1. Let's see. Nathan has Dream Warriors at number 1. Absolutely.
Nice.
Val saying I have Dream Warriors by Dokken on my music playlist. I do too. Bobby Lee, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Saying the original is number 1, of course. Number 2, Dream Warriors. And number 3, New Nightmare. All
Nice.
right. American Turkey Burger saying, missed you guys. And we missed you too. You're all good people along with the chat people. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Seriously. And welcome back. Chuck going with the OG at number 1. There you go.
Nice.
Karen said number 1 has to be the OG, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I saw it when it came out as a kid. It's nostalgic. Scared the heck out of me. Absolutely.
Nice.
Philip going with New Nightmare at number 1. All right. All right. What's up? Saying, hey, I'm late. Here's my Nightmare ranking. Well, got the OG, then Dream Warriors, New Nightmare, Dream Master, Freddy vs. Jason, Final Nightmare, Freddy's Revenge, Dream Child, and the remake. All right, Derek, that's cool. Very, very cool. All right, so for me, again, this franchise, it was a very important franchise for me when I was growing up, obviously, and that meant it was for you too, Kill. But I had to have the OG as number 1 because it just had so many great elements. Just everything was just so good in this movie. The practical effects, Heather Langenkamp was great. Amanda Weiss, pulling the swerve on us, thinking that she was the final girl. This scene with Tina's death, starting when she goes into the alleyway, to this day, I think is still so. Look at this guy. You don't want to talk to this dude. And it was just so creepy. And the things Robert was doing, this is God. I mean, it was just, dude, it was just so good. Some great nightmare sequences, a great cast, like you were saying, Coriander, including the great Johnny Depp. Great cast. Don't get in a tub because you never know what's going to happen. And like you said, Kill, we got the sax. And here's another thing too. The reason why I think the remake wasn't as good as it could have been is because, like, for instance, we had characters or actors like John Saxon playing the father who had weight in the movie. You know what I'm saying? A troubled father who was kind of, just estranged from his daughter and ex-wife. And of course, the mother, and the idea of what they did to Freddy, you know, as the vigilante mob. I mean, these were scenes that the remake didn't have. And it was kind of odd. It was like, well, you guys copied some things, but one thing you didn't copy was having, you know, a lot of depth of the characters, you know, meaning like the parents and Tina and so forth. But just some great scenes. And Heather, this movie for me, it shows why I think Nancy is a great final girl, a very underrated final girl, which is really odd to say, but I think Nancy Thompson is a very, very good final girl. So the OG at number 1, man. There it is. James Santina's death is the best horror death ever. It is so good, man. It really is. It still holds weight. You know, it's difficult to watch, you know. Aaron saying the original is 1 for me. Had
You
your
think
boy
that's
saying
difficult to watch?
well, what I mean is that when
Dang.
you watch, well, and I'm talking about like
No, I'm
versus
just
like the remake. Like with the remake, the way that they did that death, she was put up in the air, kind of flying around like a weird drunk Superman, and then she
yeah.
gets slashed, and it's kind of like, okay. But when Tina is killed, you actually feel bad for her, you know, because Amanda Weiss is, you know, she's yelling, she's reaching out, you know, and it just looks painful. It looks painful, and the way they shot it and everything, I think it's iconic. It really, really is. Bobby Lee saying the nightmare sequences were not nothing I've ever seen before. I agree. I agree. Nancy is a grade A final girl. I definitely agree with that too.
Mhm.
Very underrated. Very underrated. And who knows? Maybe we'll talk about stuff like that at some point soon. But yeah, number 1 for me is the OG. And again, where I do really love Dream Warriors. I just think with the OG, having Freddy, you know, in the shadows and just a lot of this, you know, what's going on here, you know, and part of that is because it was the first, but that's just how it is when you're ranking these movies. So any final thoughts for you, Kill, on these movies? I mean, we've gone through all of these movies, all of these weeks we've been working on this series, and now we finished up this ranking. And let me also put our final list here if people are just jumping in, because I thought it was very interesting how this all panned out. You know, it's very, very interesting. But Kill, any final thoughts?
Just you know, it's a great franchise, and you know, we need more of it. You know, everybody else is coming back. You know, there's
right.
Crystal Lake is coming to TV, and Halloween has been doing its thing for the last few years. So Freddy, you know, come on back, man. Break time is over.
Right. Yeah, hopefully with this fan film, Dylan's New Nightmare, hopefully that will, you know, just kind of continue to shake the fences and hopefully get everything situated with Wes's estate and get a Nightmare movie made. And, you know, I'm hoping that will happen. I really am. But it was interesting with this ranking, man, because we had a lot of the same ones and maybe just one of us was one off. We were very close in these.
Yeah. You and me there, Night.
Yeah. We almost had the same exact thing.
Right?
We literally only had one that was different, Coriander, and that was our number 3 and 4 spot, and it was just a flip flop. Yeah,
right.
that was pretty cool. But all 3 of us put Freddy's Revenge at number 5, so there's some love for Freddy's Revenge, and Dream Child at number 6. And Eric, I'm sure he'll probably check out the replay, but I know he's happy that the remake, at least for you and me, Coriander, was not at the bottom of the list. So shout out to our good friend Eric. But but Coriander, for you, any final thought on Freddy, just as an icon or as this franchise villain?
Oh God. What can I say? I'm ready for Jason. No.
On me.
No. It would be nice to have another movie sometime.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think that Freddy is part of the Trinity when we talk about, you know, the icons, Michael, Freddy, and Jason. And I think Freddy, he stood the test of time, and the best movies in this franchise are some of the best movies, in the slasher subgenre. It really is, and some of the most creative. So I think it's really really cool. And I'm glad we got a chance to do this. It's always fun to talk about these icons, especially that we've loved for years since we were a kid. Hatchet Boy saying, I love you guys ranking. I had fun. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Really appreciate it. Yeah. Bobby Lee saying, anyone remember the series Freddy's Nightmares? Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, it did have some corny stuff, but it had some good moments. They really I think we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about Freddy's Dead, because that was around the same time Freddy's Nightmares came out. They wanted to do, something a little bit more serious with the series, but it just didn't pan out that way. And they got, people to just direct episodes of Freddy's Nightmares, and they were just doing whatever the hell they want, and it got corny. And I really do think that's where Robert's portrayal of Freddy in the series started to bleed into the movies, and it just really went into that comedic zone, because in Freddy's Nightmare, Robert was basically the crypt keeper. He was like the host. And so, of course, as a host, you're not in the shadows. You're not just saying a few words. You're actually entertaining your viewers. So I think Freddy's, and I'm just thinking of this right now. This might be a conversation for another time. Freddy's Nightmares might have been, a really big disadvantage for Freddy as an icon.
I didn't see any of those, so
we did.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't want to see it. Well, I mean, there were a couple that were pretty good, but yeah.
You're not missing.
Yeah. Val saying Freddy definitely has earned his spot on the Mount Rushmore of horror icons. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt at all. Aaron saying this was really awesome. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, we're going to get ready to head on out here. Thanks for hanging out with us as always. Let us know your rankings in the comment section. You guys were throwing out a whole bunch in the live chat. I couldn't keep up with everyone, tried to, but let us know in the comment section. I know we can have a lot more conversation, because this franchise is a good franchise. Even the movies that didn't always make the marks, they were still some interesting movies. And thanks, Val, for reminding people to come back into the comment section. Let us know what you think about our picks too. Karen saying this was fun. You guys got it back to work. Have a great night. Same to you. Same to you. Philip saying this was fun. Hope you do a Friday ranking. We did do a Friday ranking. We went.
Yeah, we did.
Let me back up, because I know some of you guys are newer to the channel. At this point, I'm not going to name them all, but we've done the Halloween series with a ranking. We've done the Friday the 13th series with a ranking. We've just finished the Nightmare on Elm Street series with a ranking. We've done the Scream series, and also we've done the Phantasm series, and we've done other ones too. So check out our playlists, because I've got them all in the play. I've spent hours putting those playlists together. Check them out, and it's always been a fun thing to talk about these movies and then rank them. So don't forget to hit the like. It always helps to support us as well, and we will catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out.
Peace.